Hey guys, welcome back to Money Making Mondays. My name is Clayton Dybert. I'm a real estate agent in Puerto Vallarta with Century 21 Riviera Realty. I have about 6 years experience as a real estate agent back in British Columbia, Canada, and I've relocated here. If you're new to these videos, basically all I do is I take a property that I see as a good investment, and I break down and show you guys what I'm using for all the numbers, why I'm using them for all the numbers, and show you guys what it costs to operate and own a property here if you're using it to generate rental income. So let's shrink me down because I am less important than the contents of the video, and let's show you what we are looking at today. So today we are in Buceria. So we got Puerto Vallarta right here, and then going north about half an hour up to Bucerias, and we are in this unit right here. Now this map is outdated and there is a new building complex in here called Bucerias Life. And as you see, it is one block from a public beach access. It's in such a good spot. There's so many like shops and restaurants and things to do along this strip. It's incredible. And also Bucerias, in my opinion, has some of the nicer beaches in the area because when you zoom out, it's a little bit protected by La Cruz, this piece that sticks out down here from the water coming in from the ocean in the bay. So it's a little bit protected, so you get a little bit calmer waves, and it's just a huge strip of white sand beach that's amazing. All right, so let's get into the listing itself. So this one is actually really unique because, as you may have seen in the thumbnail, it's a 2-for-1. It has a lockoff, so we'll get into that. So as you can see, everything is super well designed. It's boho. It's awesome. This is a view looking at the building and the amenities with the pool deck and everything. It's a great spot. Okay, so this is the main unit. This is the door that comes in, kitchen, and then this is a unit or a door that goes to the other bedroom lockoff. So this is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. And with that door separating it, you can choose to make it a 1-bedroom. Actually, it's a 2-bed, 3-bath, sorry. So this is the main part of the condo, the kitchen, living room, and they got these sliding doors to separate the bedroom, as you see there. Everything is super well equipped, well furnished. There's your view looking more towards the east. And then this, like I said, this door, this opens up to the 2nd bedroom, 2nd bathroom, and a kitchenette, which you can have them joined or you can have them completely separate. That's why I say it's a 2-for-1. It's a lockoff unit. So like you said, you get your little 2-burner, fridge, sink, microwave, and that's what you get for your kitchenette. That's actually a pretty good kitchenette, better than most, because it has a cooking element, better than most hotels that I've been to anyways. Everything is really nice. These buildings are pretty new. No big views from the balcony, but that's okay. You can just go to the pool, or you can walk literally, like I say, 1 block to get to the ocean. So the whole place is done up in this boho chic. It's fantastic. And all this place comes fully furnished, just so you are aware. So that's what the unit looks like. These are more of the common areas. Exercise room. I don't recall seeing any weights in this building. It's all cardio machines. That's good. Yeah, there's your building, and that's how close you are to the beach. More common area, lounge space. Awesome space. So I have found, or actually, let's run through the numbers first. So this place is listed at, what is it, 489,000 USD, which translates to 639,000 Canadian. All of the expenses I have laid out in pesos, being that I live here and I convert everything to pesos. It's just the easiest way for me to calculate everything. Then at the end of the list, I translate your monthly and yearly expenses into Canadian dollars to make it easier for you guys. So you see that. And we'll get down so you can see what I'm working with. Okay, so here, as you can see, I have different ranges of nightly cost. So that's because I have found actually, I believe it's the identical unit that is currently listed on Airbnb that is the lockoff portion, so that we call that a studio on Airbnb, and the 1 bedroom, 2 bath unit, not the exact same one, but a very comparable one. I believe it's like one floor above it. I could be wrong, but it's pretty much the same view, same location in the building, same layout, same everything, and I've found both of those in here. Okay, so for a comparable, this is the studio. Oh no, sorry, this is the 1 bedroom, 2 bathroom unit. They have one of these couches. You can use that as a bed, so they have 3 guests. Let's see here, close this out. So the base rate is $240 per night for this place right now, and it's got 4.89 star review, so it's good. And I just want to also note that all these taxes and fees, that yes, you're going to be bringing that in as income, but I calculate the base fare rate first, which is the $240 Canadian, because if you go back to the main screen, the main search, it shows up as costing $390 Canadian, but that's what the consumer pays, but you don't get to keep all of that. So I just go for the base fare, then I eliminate all those calculations, because basically you just are a placeholder for that lodging tax, for those Airbnb fees, etc., cleaning fees. So yeah, this place is very well done, and if you just take a look at their occupancy, this is in April, they haven't booked that far in advance. But January, they've got a few days open at the end of January, and let's see what kind of pricing they have on that. Yeah, $277 a night, and that's currently, and they're that booked up. So that's a very, very good sign looking at that, and they haven't booked into the future. All of February is booked, all of March is booked. April is open, they haven't booked into April yet, which whether they will or not, who knows? They could be using it for their own purpose. I don't know. But so it is possible to get very high occupancy through especially the winter months, and if you play your cards right and market it properly and work with a good management team, you can rent it out at a very high rate. And so let's look at the studio portion. So this is I believe the actual studio. We'll find out here in the photos. Same kitchen setup, coffee machine, microwave, 2 burner element. Okay, this isn't the exact unit, but it is the same sort of layout. The chair was in a different place, and it was a different kind of chair, but still very cool. Great Airbnb spot. The location is good, and as you see, their occupancy is really good, so they are booking up. And so this one is listed at $160 a night as your base fare. Let's see what their occupancy is. Right, they have 1 week available in Canada, because it's funny, because I looked at this literally just last night, and this $160 was higher last night, so they've obviously dropped the rate to try to get a last minute booking to fill some of these days in January. They have a few days open in February. About half of March is booked so far, so that's where that sits. So going back to the numbers, what it is, I laid out a few different scenarios. So currently, right now, they are booking up between the two of them for about $400 a night, which is $2,800 a week. So if you factor those numbers in at $4,800 per week, you come out with this, just under $6,000 a week. That's after a 70% occupancy rate. That's after 20% management fees, and of course before all the other fees and taxes of Airbnb, those are added on. So that is the number you're looking at, and the $71,000 or net income per year. That's before your other taxes. But I just want to show one quick other thing that I do with all the listings that I do here. Having a property in Mexico opens up a lot of doors to other opportunities and ways to diversify and shelter your income and diversify your income. So what I mean by that is, once you have a property, you can use that property, actually, if you have a big enough cash stakehold, to qualify you for residency under an investment visa. And once you have that, then you have access to get a tax number and open up a bank account. And once you have a bank account here, then you can start operating your business and running your business through Mexico therefore you're losing less money, bringing it back into Canada all the time, going through the SWIFT system, paying all your fees and all your exchanges, and keeping money in Mexico. And then you also have access to other investment vehicles in Mexico that pay a much higher rate of return than you can get in Canada. So for example, there's a GIC product right now that they're paying out at 13% on an annual basis on a 6-month term. So basically what I do is I take the income generated for 6 months, and then I put that into a GIC, and then I take the next 6 months along with the GIC. Once that 6-month term is up, take that and the next 6 months of income and put together another and just reinvest into a GIC, and you can gain an extra 13+%. That's factoring in a little bit of currency exchange value add as well, because the Mexican peso has been increasingly getting stronger and stronger versus the Canadian dollar, which it hurts buying power. But if you're able to leverage this sort of strategy, you can actually use it to your advantage, because then you're growing it in denomination to the Canadian dollar. So you can turn that, that $71,000 and turn it into $78,000 of annual income. Another thing just for looking at income taxes, this is a kind of a little breakdown of the taxes that I have here. Your EVA and your GST, they're kind of like your GST comparable in Canada, and your ISH, which is a lodging tax, which is 3%, which those are the ones that I showed you that get added to Airbnb, the price on Airbnb after the base fare. So that basically is already being taken care of. And then income tax for non-residents is 25. That's on for a different number. Okay, that's for different calculations. But either way, you're going to be paying, if you're a non-resident of Mexico, you're going to be paying less taxes still than you would in Canada. But if you do get your residency and you do bring in your business and generate your income through Mexico legally and pay taxes, you'll pay a lot less taxes. You'll be paying closer to about like 10 to 12%. So that is how you can generate almost a 11% cash on cash return. I do a cash on cash return because it's a little bit more simple, because there's so many different ways people can access funding or cash or equity or lending for a mortgage to fund these properties. And so it's kind of hard, because all these different ways are going to take different amounts of interest, different amortization periods. So it's just easy for me to give a basic cash on cash return and not factor in borrowed money into an ROI. So that's just about $6,000 a month based on the current about $400 a night at a 70% occupancy. Now let's play with something here. So if you were to go for you saw how high the occupancy was. If you were to, in the summer months, continue to rent it out and get a occupancy rate that is continued to be high even through the lower seasons, you can adjust your rates, obviously, and any good property management will show you how to do this, or just do it for you to get you the best outcome. Let's see here, 2275. So let's put that number into here, 2275. And let's put this up to a 95% vacancy rate, because that actually makes you more money than the high rates, but you saw how booked up they were. So I would say a more reasonable number that you're going to get is this middle of the range, $365 per night for your stays at 2555. So that's 2555, and let's go off of that was still a pretty high vacancy rate with that. So let's go 85. Let's keep it high. So you're still getting an 11.8% return. So these numbers that we are coming up with, there's so many different scenarios to look at and different seasons to play with, but I would say a 10% is like a base. If you don't know what you're doing, but you have someone managing it, that's what you could be expecting, which is $6,000 a month, $80,000 a year. That is a pretty good return on a $639,000 Canadian property. Thanks so much for tuning into this week's Money Making Mondays. Please hit the like button if you found this useful. Helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. Leave a comment of anything that you want to see me break down in a little bit more detail, or other details that I may have missed that you would like to see in these videos. And of course, share it with a friend who you think would find this valuable. So we'll see you on the next Money Making Mondays. Thanks a lot.